Now, how about them damn Celtics?
All right, we're back with another Boston Celtics video. Today, we're looking at an article from Chris Forsberg once again. Shout out Chris Forsberg, legend, helping us get the content going. And he and the NBC Sports Boston staff team wrote an article, the Ramp to Camp series. What's one more move the Celtics should make before the season? And they came up with some trade ideas that we are going to discuss. We can say whether or not we'd like it. We can say whether or not it's realistic, react to them, go over it. Shout out to NBC Sports for giving us some stuff to react to leading into the season. Thank you very much.
It's huge. It's a lifeline for we. I feel like we should give them like a gift card to like the Cheesecake Factory or something. Like if we see Forsberg on opening night or at media day, be like, thanks for the good work.
We'll see. We'll see. Maybe they'll get a. I'm trying to think of a gift card that would make sense. We'll give them one to the team shop.
We can give them a rat list hoodie that they can all share. Like if it gets cold, they can all share. We can only afford to give them one.
All right, the moves. Starting off with Josh Canu, the media editor over at NBC Sports Boston, says Anthony Simons for Nikola Vucevic. This is something we've talked about before. Said both players are on expiring contracts. The Bulls get a younger player, and the Celtics get a starting center with some cap relief. Listen, I don't hate this trade idea. Celtics show a little money, get it someone who objectively fits the roster a little bit better. I don't know why the Bulls would do this. They already have Trey Jones, Kobe White, Ayo Dosunmu, and maybe Josh Giddey if and when they resign him. It sounds like they want to. So 4 guards on the roster. I don't really know if they need Anthony Simons. I've written this trade, though, with the concept of they could just then flip Dosunmu and or Kobe White in other deals since they are also on expirings, but I don't really know.
They'd have to love Simons for it to make sense for them. Like, he would have to top their guard power rankings of the 3-4 guys you mentioned. But for Boston, this would be great. It really would. I think it would actually like make them a semi-serious like playoff contender in the East. They wouldn't be like championship favorites, but I think if you were putting together your projections for the standings, like they would end up in the top 6 with this. I don't know how you feel about that, but I feel like that just plugs such a glaring issue for them.
It catapult them up the standings for sure, getting like a legitimate starting center. Now, Vooch is really old, so you never know, but I wouldn't hate a move like this. Max Letterman, I'd pay Isaiah Thomas to be a part of the organization as either a player or a coaching staff. I've never felt right about how things turned out for IT. Bringing him back to Boston would be good karma. Sure. I have no complaints. Bring him on as a player development guy.
The best answers so far on these. He's just shooting from the hip.
What did he say last time?
He said he was like, why not say Josh Minot for my favorite guy that I'm looking forward to? Because everyone's saying Ugo.
Why not Minot?
It would be nice. It'd be nice to see him around.
Yeah, bring back IT. I wouldn't complain. Darren Hartwell says, easy answer is trading Anthony Simons, but his $27.6 million expiring contract to shed salary. After tinkering with NBA trade machines, I'll go with a 3-team proposal from Bleacher Report's Andy Bailey that sends Simons to Toronto and Terrence Mann and Ochai Agbaji to Boston. Let me pull up the article so we can look at what Darren thinks is the best trade. I think I've seen this one before. I want to double check just so I don't. Oh my gosh, this is a large trade. Okay, so it would be, Celtics would get Terrence Mann, Ochai Agbaji in a 2030 second round pick. The Raptors would get Anthony Simons. The Nets would get RJ Barrett in a 2031 second round pick from Boston. I don't know why the Raptors would make this trade. I mean, the only reason I could think of would be to cut long-term money. If that is the business they're in, then maybe they would do it. But listen, man, maybe I'm on an island here. RJ Barrett's good. I don't know why you just dump RJ Barrett. He had a really good season last year.
I feel like if I was Toronto, and this might not be possible, I would do this trade, but RJ Barrett would be quickly. Like, that would be the change.
Yes, sure. Yeah.
When you're looking at this from a Toronto perspective, it's like we have Anthony Simons at home. We have Emmanuel Quickly. It's a very similar type player.
Well,
why? And we're paying him a bunch of money.
Except a lot better at defense. A lot better.
Is he a lot better at defense than Simons? I thought he was middle of the road average.
No. He's a pretty good defender.
Okay,
I remember during a 6-minute year season, he's a pest. He's a good defender.
I apologize. I hate to to step on his toes there. I don't want to make it sound like he's a terrible defender, but
He's a pretty
I
good
think
defender.
that would be the smarter thing because I'm not sure he's worth the money he's making.
No. He's a good defender, but $32.5 million for Emmanuel Quickly is a lot of money, especially when you're paying RJ Barrett and Brandon Ingram as well. So I would get it if they want to shed some money, but I don't know if that makes too much sense. Michael Hurley says, I'm inviting all my friends to the Garden for some pickup basketball first and foremost. After that, I don't think I'm going too crazy. The chances of going a ton around without Tatum are minuscule, for being honest, so I push the envelope. If I'm doing anything, I'm challenging Joe Mazzulla to just try for one game to tell his team to take a normal number of threes and see what happens. It's possible I'll be engaged in some hand-to-hand combat as a result. Just take less threes. Is that's the bit? That's kind of lame.
I think the bit is like, what would you do if you were in charge of the Celtics? And he was like, if I was in charge, I wouldn't do anything, but I would play pickup on the parquet.
I see.
And then maybe ask Mazzulla to shoot less threes.
I see.
I think the threes this year are actually going to be like they help the Celtics win more games kind of thing. Like,
I agree.
I don't think their roster is as 3-point capable as it's been in the past, but at the same time, like, they do have good shooters. Derek, Peyton, Sam Hauser, Anthony Simons, all still on the team. If you find a way to, like, outmath teams, you're probably going to win an extra 5 games at least compared to what you were going to win without the shot differential, if that makes sense.
No, definitely. I think when you have less talent, you need to play the math even more, and they've been playing the math anyways. So we'll see if they continue to do so. Sean McGuire says Brad Stevens said it was unlikely Al Horford returned. That was months ago. It feels like it's a done deal. Horford's headed to Golden State, but says it hasn't. I'm going with Big Al for running the front office. I'll make it work with Horford. I like the chutzpah, but he's just not coming back. He's just not coming back, man. Unfortunately.
Yeah, man, it just maybe this would have happened even if like there were no injuries in the playoffs, but it really feels like the Tatum injury has caused this to happen,
sure.
And it sucks because I'm a sucker for a good narrative. I think Horford finishing his career here would have been awesome and like would have been a cool legacy thing, but I also don't blame him for not wanting to spend one of his final seasons in the NBA in like a gap year. Even though like the players feel really good about their chances, they have a lot of the same faces in the core of the rotation. Like they aren't the same like powerhouse team they were for the past several years, rather. Like that's a real thing. And I think when you're in it, you don't realize it as much. But I think when you've been around the block like Horford has, you can kind of see the writing on the wall.
Yeah. I just wish you stayed, man. I just wish you were still here. Kevin Miller says, I'm not sure there's anything Stevens can really do. Adding another big would make sense, but I don't see any realistic options. I'm keeping Simons to see how it works in this offense for the first half of the season. Fair. Adam Hart says, make some room for Malik Beasley and add him on a discount prove-it deal. I guess, but is he really going to sign a minimum with the Celtics? If he signs a minimum anywhere, it's going to be like New York or Cleveland or somewhere that has a legitimate chance of making a run. And unfortunately, I just don't think the Celtics are that this season. I will also say I thought there was another deal that I saw that included Ayo Dosunmu to Boston, and that was one of the ones I was more interested in. Okay, yes. I think we just missed Forsberg's actual one because it wasn't organized with the rest of them. But reading the article, the deal that Forsberg himself suggests is, I'm just trying to find it in the block of text. Since no one ever knows exactly what the Bulls are doing, we're calling them to see if they think Simons can help in their annual quest to land the play-in berth. Even after the Bulls signed Josh Giddey, Chicago has ample room to take on salary. Would they do Simons money for a package that includes something like Ayo Dosunmu, Jalen Smith, and Dalen Terry? I doubt it. I doubt it. Maybe they want to get off of Jalen Smith's multi-year money, but even that seems pretty unlikely because I don't think he makes a ton of money, and I don't even know if he's on a multi-year money, but I know Dalen Terry. I don't think Dalen Terry is. I know Dosunmu isn't. So Jalen Smith maybe is only make sense. The only fathomable option, in my opinion, with the Bulls, outside of the Vucevic thing, which I could see a world where they maybe do it, but I just don't think it makes too much sense for them with how many guards they had, is if the Celtics were willing to take on Patrick Williams money, and they shouldn't be, to be perfectly clear. He makes $18 million this season and for 3 years after this. Not just bad. That said, Jalen Smith does in fact make $9 million this year and next year. So if they want to dump that money, maybe the Celtics could, inquire. It just doesn't make a ton of sense though.
Yeah, I think if you're floating Celtics trades, they should never be a team taking on dead money. Like, they're not in the service of being a contract eating team, at least not for the long term. If you were like trying to get off it for this year, maybe, but like, think about it. You got Tatum coming back next year. You're presumably going to be trying to push for a title again, unless you really think the player is not a great fit where they're at and you can do something with them. There's no logical reason, like for example, Pat Williams. Why would you extend
that? Pat Williams, no, 18 million is too much. But if you're talking about a 2-year contract around like 10 to 12 million to get off Simons, then I'm saying, you can extend that salary into next year. You can either maybe not even flip it, but just have the salary matching for a trade. So I do think there is value to trading Anthony Simons for a guy who is under contract for next season, but 18 million in 3 years is a no. So I do think there is value to taking on some long-term money if it is the right salary and the right number of years, but not bad contract, long-term money. That Patrick Williams contract is absolutely disgusting. Anyways, let us know what you guys think of the trade ideas. A lot of Bulls talk in here, but appreciate y'all for tuning in. Leave a like, subscribe, and all the same. Take it out.
Hey, thank you very much for listening and watching. Make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe. We are here every single day on the channel with new content. Full pods drop Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. Game recaps are up the morning after each game, and other videos like this one are on the channel in between to keep you up to date with all things Celtics. You can find the two of us on Spotify and Apple too. All pods and recaps are there, so if you just want those, follow. They will go right to your feed. Leave a 5-star review, and I appreciate that very, very much. You can email us, hbtcpod@gmail.com. We're reading them every single time we do a show, so as you're listening, we're doing one later today. hbtcpod@gmail.com. Get them in. Our socials are at How About Them C's for Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook's the name of the podcast. All streams are there. They're on YouTube. They're on Twitter. Jack's Twitter's at Jack's1NBA. Mine's at Sam LaFrance NBA. That's it for us. Bye.